all raw and uncensored. If we say anything that gets us canceled, no taking it back.
Yeah,
Just kidding. Yeah,
because
I'm
I'm
joking.
not beholden to anyone, man. That's the
I'm
great
just
thing
joking,
about
man.
like not having like a Patreon or not having like
Yeah.
anybody like paying me to do this. I can do whatever the fuck I want, But
Oh, yeah,
anyway,
same here. Same here. Like I have my jobs and I work in with communications with a lot of different couple game stores here and there.
hmm
But it's been made very clear. I made it very clear in the beginning. Look, this is my brand.
yep,
It has nothing to do with any store. And that's why you'll see one day I have something going on with this store, the next day I'm doing a video with the guy from this store, or so on, right? Like it's just
yeah.
this for me. This is my escape from any kind of work. You know what I mean? It's
Oh,
not
I
a
totally feel that. Yeah,
yeah,
and I really am. I'm really careful on who I try to promote in any video. Like if I say, "Hey, I really like this store," it's because I believe in it. And
yeah,
it's
for
really
sure.
important to do that because sometimes you want to make sure that you're saying the right things. But one question I do have, and I do ask this to a lot of people. So like I'm always curious about the names. Like I always like Bronson is my name, so I just chose it for my channel, and I used to have Bronson's blood, but I just shortened it to Bronson. But you're Fab Popal. Does that like come from anything?
Popal is my last name.
Oh,
So it's
nice.
actually yeah, it's actually a tribal name. It's Afghan. So
Oh,
it's
cool.
a lot of Afghans have that name. We're talking like million and a half Afghans. It's a really common name.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I saw recently you made a video with Matt Rogers. You interviewed him. That was cool, and it was crazy how he won the calling over there, right?
Yeah, it's not his first calling win. He's won a couple and he top eights. This
Yeah.
is not his first gold foil tunic. Matt is an awesome guy though. Like as much as he wins and he does this and that and he promotes the game, he also does a lot of charity work and stuff as well.
hmm
Like his most recent when they're donating the money to the Cancer Society because of his friend Cale McGreeth, his father passed away from cancer. So that kind of cause was really personal to all those guys there. So he started all those auctions and things like that. He's a really humble guy. You
Oh
know,
yeah,
you
and
you
he's
wouldn't know
running
he was
that
the
thing
top.
now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's got the auctions and all those things going on now
And what I
for the
found
Cancer Society.
What I found interesting about the interview is he runs Card Merchant. I had no idea. I saw that site a lot. I didn't know he owned it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This guy won't brag about anything. Like, so just after that interview, somebody messaged me and he said this guy was teaching me about Fab for months, and I didn't know he was Matt Roger. He was the champion. He won't tell
Wow.
you. Right? So he won't tell you I'm a top eight player or I'm doing this for charity or you gotta like squeeze it out of him there.
Yeah, that's so cool,
Yeah,
man. Yeah, and I
yeah,
heard once he won it, he took the deck that he won the calling from, and I guess it has the LSS stamps, and he donated it
yeah.
to the Cancer Society, and
Well,
that's
he
beautiful.
auctioned it. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
auctioned it
auctioned it.
off, and yeah.
Do you know how much he
So
got for it?
that one, I think it went like $600 or $700, which isn't bad because a lot of the cards were commons and things like that,
That's
right?
not
So
bad at
you're
all.
getting. It's just like the symbolic. Oh, I have the deck that Matt Rogers used to win the calling.
I
Yeah,
think I would have paid that honestly. Would you have
yeah.
paid that much?
I went up to like 500 on it or 600, and I'm like, I spent too much this month. I can't go any
Oh
higher.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, when it comes to Flesh and Blood, are you more of like a player or collector? Like I'm mainly a collector. I do play the game a lot, but I love collecting the cards.
So I collect a lot. I enjoy playing. I just don't have the time most of the time. I do
Yeah.
find it really fun to play, and I can't wait till it's in person because the stores I have partnerships with here and there, they
hmm
want me there for events, and then I'll be able to play. It's just the actual time of going online and doing a Discord. Like I've only done like a couple of skirmishes here and there, and I'll just catch a odd game here and there to test my deck out. But
hmm
yeah, I'm more of a collector. I'm trying to transition more into playing. I do have an interest in playing. I enjoy playing. It's just I haven't found much time to do it, especially between content creation, work, and everything else. A little bit hard.
Oh yeah, I feel that. I mean, whenever I can actually get to events, it's always last minute, and I'm like, oh, okay, I can go. I'll pay the thing and like drive there, really, like get there at the last minute. But nah, I feel that, man. And that's kind of the sad part when you have a game that's geared towards adult audiences, right? We all have jobs that take up most of our time and friends and family. So at the end of the day, it's hard to get that time. But if we were in like high school, can you imagine if this was out in high school? How
Oh
much?
yeah, oh man, I just the last game, like everyone collected Pokemon cards, but nobody actually played it.
Mm,
And by the time we were in high school, Magic was there, but it was kind of lackluster. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
there was nothing new about Magic for me personally, where I was like, oh, I'm gonna go play. No, it wasn't like that. The last game that I actually enjoyed playing before this was Yu-Gi-Oh, and that was the beginning of Yu-Gi-Oh. Starter deck Kaiba and starter deck Yugi before
Oh
it got all
wow.
complicated. I really enjoyed all that stuff. Yeah. I never really hopped on the Magic bandwagon there, but when I saw this, I saw the first thing that drew me to this was the artwork there. So I saw the artwork and I was like, oh wow, this is a cool looking thing, and I started buying into it, and then it spiked. I didn't
Yeah.
jump in after the spike. I jumped in before the spike. Crucible,
Oh,
right before Crucible spiked.
oh, dude, you got in at the perfect time. Right
Yeah.
before Crucible came out, that like this was like a barren wasteland. It was like nobody was investing and actively collecting. Welcome to Wrath alpha booster boxes were like $100. You probably saw. I mean, did you pick up anything that was like really that like spiked the most? I'm kind of
Well,
curious.
what I did is I didn't buy the alpha stuff because I wasn't like looking at it as an investment at that time. I was looking at it as like something for fun. So I bought a lot of Crucible cases and things like that just because I was trying to pull the cards I wanted. Um, Alpha stuff, I went for tunics because I really like tunic. I didn't buy alpha boxes because they were like when I started looking, they were $600 each. And I'm like,
Oh
yeah,
wow.
no, I'm not gonna do
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So, but I made sure to grab some tunics. So I had like 3 or 4 gold foil tunics at the time, and
Nice.
those actually they went towards my the golden tunic that I have, the gold foil.
You have a gold foiled tunic. That is
Yeah,
beautiful. Do you have the
yeah. I took a
provenance behind who won it at what event?
so I got it from I don't know how to pronounce his first name. His middle name I think is Logan.
Hmm.
And he got it from Kale McReith at the first calling, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
So it went from Kale McReith to Logan to me.
Those things are hella rare. I don't even know if there's a like price point on them at at this point in time. Now that the game's spiked even more, but that's a really
Well,
cool piece of history,
I've seen
man.
them listed at 30K,
Wow.
but and that's like instant disappear. That's instant disappear. Now there's some listed on the market for 50K US, and those haven't disappeared. So for me, the sweet spot, what I traded towards it was 38ish. Like I put the value at a fair 38. So for me, I would say between 38 to 45 is a fair price. Like if you're asking that much, you should be able to get that much for it.
Wow, that is insane.
Yeah, it
Eh,
is. It is.
It's
Who would
crazy
have known
too because
cardboard is worth so?
I know, right? And
Yeah.
it's the same card as like an unlimited card, but it just has like a gold border. I mean, but
No, but this one has her face. If you want to throw it up on
oh,
her
oh, it
face is on there.
does.
That makes it like really solid. If it was just a gold border, I wouldn't really care.
I
But
didn't
this
know
is
about that. That
this
is
is the
an
only one that
extra.
has her face.
Wow. So it's
Yeah,
extended art up instead of extended
yeah,
art down.
yeah,
That's the first time I've heard of extended art up. That's so
yeah.
cool.
No, that's why it's like it's the most sought after gold foil, even though there's probably more of those than the other gold foils,
Hmm.
because it's the only one that's alt art per se. So and it's like if you want to see her face, you got to pay the money.
Now, do you protect it well? Because like,
Oh, I
and
have it
even
as
if
safety
you don't,
deposit.
oh, good,
I have it
good.
as, and I see because I'm in Canada and I wanted to get it graded with Beckett, but I've
Hmm.
had cards shipped through FedEx that customs have like put knives through, or like have come back
Oh,
bent. It
jeez.
doesn't matter how you package it or whatever. If they just want to rip it open, like they just take a knife and they cut it open, they don't
Hmm.
care,
Oh,
right? So I'm
that's
like, no, I'm not
horrible.
going to do that. There's a Canadian company I might deal with. Their name isn't as known, but I know their work is very quality.
I don't even think you could even, or I don't even think you need to even get it graded, right? Because no matter what it is, it's like one of something
One
insanely
out of
small.
45 or so far. But the thing is, like, it's only for protection for me. It's not for like
Oh, I
because
feel
it's for
you.
me collect. Just keeps the dust out, keeps the moisture out. You don't have to worry about it getting bent too easily or something like that. You
Or if there's
know?
a flood, then it's like no big
Yeah,
deal. But I mean,
yeah,
if you have a safety deposit, and that was a smart move. And I was gonna even tell you if it's in your house, just lie to me, please, because
yeah,
at these kind of stages, man, it's scary. And when
yeah.
Monarch First Edition came out, like my main concern was you go into an LGS, right? You pull the $4,000 card, and then what do you
Who's gonna
do?
get you on
You
the
have a
way out?
target on your back for like the whole rest of the night. Like honestly, even though this is sad, I think I would have just left if I pulled a lot. Just well, see you guys.
Well, let's
Sorry.
be real. I wouldn't like put it that big of a concern of the LGS. Like, let's be real. At the end of the day, we're all geeks, so
Yeah, that's
hopefully we're
true.
not getting jumped by another geek. You know, like,
That's true.
hit him
It's
over,
not like some B dubs, like some
yeah,
drinking atmosphere. That is a good point.
hit him over the head with the Harry Potters,
Yeah,
Harry Potter books. Yeah, just kidding.
get him.
But yeah, no, no, that's
Because it's
yeah,
just weird, man. Like you don't expect that this like really small piece of like paper and cardboard and color is worth so much, but it
it's
is. I don't
crazy.
know. Because I
It's still
think
a retrace, but
Yeah.
it's still going up there. You know, I'm sure you've seen we're in a bit of a retrace now with the card prices, but it's good. It's perfectly, in my opinion, it's healthy for the game.
And that's a good segment. I really like that segment because, man, why do you think it's retracing? Because I think it's really due to, like, once product's been out for a while, it normally retraces 40 to 30%. Any Magic the Gathering set or Pokemon set does this. You know, it comes out on release. There's zero supply. All the big investors buy it because they have the big money. But then it just dumps into the supply, and then there's just more than enough for everyone. I don't know. That's why
And
I think.
well, and here's the thing: people don't realize Crucible spiked, right? Nobody was expecting Crucible to spike,
Yeah.
but that's part of the reason it spiked, right? Nobody bought Crucible in the beginning. Very few people bought it. Like, I'm just gonna hold sealed boxes.
Thank you.
By the time Crucible spiked, it was already in circulation, right? So the numbers had naturally diminished because people began ripping the boxes like it was nothing. Oh yeah, it's just
Yep.
Crucible of War. Who cares? But people didn't even. People were complaining at 169 Crucible, 169 Canadian Crucible boxes. Everybody was like, it's a garbage set. I'm telling you,
Wow. Yeah,
it's
you can't
garbage. Like
draft
people,
it. You can't play sealed.
yeah. Yeah, so people were like, it's garbage. I don't really like this. You have to pull so many boxes for Cheyenne. I remember when I was negotiating with Dual Kingdom because he had a Cheyenne for like 800 bucks. I'm like, this is too much. I'm like, meet me somewhere on the price. You know, like
Yeah.
meet me somewhere on the price. But like the thing is, again, at that point, people were opening Crucible. Nobody was holding it sealed.
Yep.
Monarch, where Monarch came in, is now we have people who don't give a shit about Flesh and Blood, who didn't care about playing the game, collecting the game, whatever. They're just like, I'm gonna buy them from the beginning and I'm gonna hold it.
Yeah.
So from the beginning of pre-orders, it was scalpers, right? Like it was all about holding, investing. Not everybody was a scalp, but I'm saying from the beginning, people were keeping it sealed.
Yep.
Whereas opposed to Crucible, Out Arcane, and Welcome to Wrath, that didn't happen. So by the time they became valuable, there was no turning back. Like there was no going backwards because
Oh yeah.
the supply was so diminished. Whereas with Monarch, like you have everybody who's holding in their closet. Every day the price is going down. They're like, should I sell? Is it going to keep going down? And they're just dumping it on the market. You're dumping like what is it? Like probably like half of the boxes are still unopened, right? So
Yep. Well, because like
yeah,
when the beginning of Crucible, you know, it was, like you said, nobody wanted it, and that was something that Wall Street got incredibly wrong. Everyone on Wall Street, I don't care who you were, or most of the Wall Street people, I'll say, on the Discord, and like remember it was saying like, oh, it was double printed and all this stuff. No, it's gonna be on the shelves forever. But yeah, then it just spiked insanely. And to your point, that's a really good point. I didn't think about that. Then it probably brought in a bunch of people who just like money. And then they were like, "Oh, okay. Well, I could just buy this $100 box in TCG Player, flip it for $500. I just made $400 easy."
100%, 100%. People
Yeah,
who don't care about the game, they just see, oh yeah, this Flesh and Blood is money. That's what they're thinking. Buy the boxes and just sell them right away.
yeah,
And the problem is, okay, you're doing it, but when you have 1,000 other people, 2,000 other people, each with a case, two cases, that becomes a lot of cases on the secondary market,
it does.
right? So then when they all see the returns aren't happening overnight, then they start panicking. Then they start undercutting each other, and then the shops are trying to keep up with the online
Yeah,
prices. Yeah,
yeah. And
but
then
yeah, I
everybody's
think
racing each other down in price to
because
the
yeah,
bottom.
that's what it is, and
And
it's
what's
okay. It's
yeah, no,
yeah, sorry.
it's good, right? It's good that the cards are affordable now.
It's good. Yeah, cards are affordable. And second of all, it taught the scalpers a lesson. They're
Yep,
not gonna like it's great. You know, personally, I don't care if a person's an investor or a collector, as long as they have some interest in the game. But
totally
people are
agree.
just buying like, oh, here, let's sell it to these Flesh and Blood guys. Like it's like the Walmart guys who go there and they beat each other up for the Pokemon cards in the kids aisle, right?
Yeah,
Like, I mean, let's just. I
get
don't
out of the way,
personally. I
kid.
don't. Yeah. Like personally, I don't care if it's a collector doing it. He opens his packs, he sells whatever he doesn't need, or he pulls the cards he wants and he sells his box after. But when it's people who don't care about the growth of the game,
Yeah,
especially with Flesh and Blood, it's new. It's like let's say like in a vulnerable state, technically, right? So I didn't like that. But this kind of taught people a lesson. Like I think we're gonna see a lot less of that behavior with Kingdoms.
I really hope so. And with Kingdoms, what is your plans with acquiring cards? Because I'm gonna tell you, like, I learned my lesson. I've opened a lot of Unlimited Monarch, right? And first edition, and I opened like three first edition boxes. I didn't get any like legendary or anything. And I was
I
like,
had
wait a
two
minute,
cases.
dude, huh? You the
I
same
had
thing?
two cases, no legendary Monarch first edition.
I had one
But
full case. No, you had two cases.
yeah, and I'm not the first. Look, a lot of guys told me they're like, "Oh, I opened 13 boxes before I hit the L,
That's
or I
effed
opened
up,
11
man.
boxes." Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
because
I like it because it's truly random, though.
it is true.
It
But
seems like
think the money that you spent on those 2 cases, you could have purchased every single legendary that you wanted and the Fable. And that's what I'm thinking now is like next when Kingdoms come out, I'm going to get as much first edition as I can super cheap. And then the unlimited, I'm not going to buy unlimited. I'm just going to wait until the price drops from everybody opening their boxes, which is fine, and then I'll just buy the legendaries that I need. I don't know, man.
Well, and with the FOMO, we saw like people were openly posting offers. The first week of Monarch, I'm buying any legendary $1,500. It was so
Yeah.
funny because there's
Yeah.
probably about like 20 of them, 30 of them, right?
I
So
know a couple people who profited really well on that.
yeah, oh yeah, and they didn't realize they're profiting, right? Because they probably thought it was just going to keep going up too, right?
Yeah.
I don't think they were like, oh, it's just gonna, yeah. So that's what I was thinking. I'm like, all right, 1,500 is the floor. It's going to be a crap show, but we all underestimated how many boxes were going to make it back. And it wasn't just scalpers; it was shops too.
Yep.
It was shops thinking I'm going to have the boxes in the back at, okay, I got them for whatever 70, $80. I'm going to wait till they're 500 and then I'm going to sell them. And that never happened. And then they started panicking, right? They
Yep.
were counting on like a month after release, that box is going to be 500, 600 USD. And they were going to pay for a lot of other stuff for that, but that didn't happen. So then they started panicking. And then
Yeah.
they have bills to pay. They have to pay for other inventory, right?
But it's
But yeah,
foolish. I think they just have to wait 3, 5 months, and that's like nothing in the grand scheme of things. And I mean, the reason why everything is cheap now, I think, is just unlimited. You know, unlimited's out. Why would you, as a player, buy a cold foil card when you can buy the unlimited card for like 150 versus like 400? I don't know.
yeah, that's for a player, right? Like, and that's what like I think we're going to see a lot of Crucible prices chase down as well
Yeah.
because now people are paying like what 70, $80 for Spoils of War, $100 for Spoils of War
Yep.
because you don't have another one. Once
That's
the
true.
unlimited comes, you have no reason to buy a first edition one as a player, right? So
Yeah.
you're just going to buy the cheaper unlimited one.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, man, it's just been a wild ride, and it's crazy too. Like I came in the same period of time that you did, like right before Crucible hit, and it's just crazy to see, right? You first start and you're like, whoa, what's up with all these like market spikes? And then it's just like spike, 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 and
Yeah, it
then
was
now
insane.
we're where we are now.
And it's happening across all collectibles. I was
Yeah.
showing the other day, like if you want to buy any collectibles from any card game, you should buy them now because they're so dirt cheap. Like I just got a guy gave me a binder of these for a really low price, right? And
Uh-huh.
these are yeah, so
Those are
all
base
collectibles are
edition?
those are base. Those are
Wow.
base. So if you want to fill any gaps, whether it's Flesh or Blood or Pokemon or any collectible card game, probably now is the best time to do it. And I think people who really want to be like collectors are going to regret not buying what they could at this point in time.
Yeah, I think you're right, especially with inflation and everything going on in the world. And I mean, it's just a really good time to buy, especially when, there's this really popular saying, you've probably heard of it. It's buy on the cannon, sell on the bells, when things are
No, I
going
never heard of
shit. Oh, it's a really good saying because, yeah, it's basically, buy low, sell high in a way of when there's really bad market noise, it's a good time to buy. When there's really
Yeah,
good market noise, it's a good time to sell. But
yeah,
people with our emotions, we don't act that way. When things are
yeah.
good, we want to buy. When things are bad, we want to sell, It's like
And
flipping your perception.
and it's the funniest thing because like I was watching like with Crucible like when people were asking like the same people well, some people are trying to sell Crucible War boxes for 500 and these people weren't buying and then I see the same people offering 1,000 when the boxes are 1,400
Oh, that's
like they're just
crazy.
yeah so it's just yeah hindsight is 2020. I mean especially now we're in a dip might go a bit lower there's no guarantee but if I wanted any more cold foils and I was liquid enough to do it I would be buying them now.
Yeah, definitely. And is there anything else that you're collecting currently that you want to complete? That'll be probably my last question for it.
Uh, I'm just not. See, I have my playmats. I think people are one trick ponies. Collecting too many hobbies at one time is really hard to do.
Yeah.
I went all out in Flesh and Blood. I traded my Pokemon stuff towards Flesh and Blood when I saw that Pokemon was reprinting every modern set because it's like they're tanking the value, right? They care about kids and the family concept of the game, which is great, but it's not good for collectors.
Yeah.
Uh, so I'm kind of like all in Flesh and Blood. I got my lore book here and things of that nature. I love
Oh,
this.
nice.
The lure book,
What
if
what does the
it
case
needs to
feel
be printed
like?
more. What's that?
What is the case of the lore book? Because I have the lore book, but
Oh,
I don't have the thing that comes the outer thing.
so it's just a black box. This is actually an open copy
Oh,
because I wanted one for reading. And this book is like the art and everything about this book is beautiful. Like
dude, the
I wish
book is so
LSS needs
underrated.
to reprint another version of this for people to play the game, for
Yeah.
people to fall in love with the lore,
Yep.
because it's just filled with everything you want to know about the world of Wraith, and it's just an awesome book. I hope they make like a mass market copy, not the same as this, obviously. Keep this collectible because I have one.
Yeah.
Don't print too many of these. I don't want
Not
to see
this.
this anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, but something like that. But yeah, I have some Elder Scrolls stuff. I'm a big Elder Scrolls nerd. Elder Scrolls probably pushed me into Flesh and Blood because the
Oh
whole
yeah.
concept, like the card concept, is like it's like Elder Scrolls. It's a card game based on a hero. You have your equipment. It's magic. This isn't that. Like to me, this just it's like what Elder Scrolls could have been in card form. And I know they have the sorry, my camera's flickering there. I don't know what that is.
You're good,
I
man.
know they have. I have the. I know they have the Elder Scrolls Legends, which is their card game, but it didn't have the. Didn't live up to the expected potential. This to me is like what Elder Scrolls could have been as a card game.
Yeah, I
So,
feel you.
I
Yeah,
have
you
like
feel like the hero, right? You feel like that person.
and the fact that you play as your same hero, it allows you to like build your character off of that. You know what I mean? Like you're
Yeah.
not. It's not a random hero. It's not like Pokemon. Let's see where you're pulling out, or this. You have that same hero every but it allows a player to build their identity surrounding that.
Yeah, you're not
That
just
hero.
like mage number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8,
Yeah,
two. You are
yeah.
Bravo, a guardian, or Kano, the wizard. Yeah,
So they really managed to capture that RPG like kind of setting in a card game, and I think that's part of the reason they're doing so well.
I think you're right, and that's really the hidden thing that I think not that many people on the surface have realized yet. But over time, it's gonna be really big in the future. But man, I really appreciate your time. Plug your channel. I watch you a bit on YouTube, man, and I really like your content. It's just really good and straight to the point. I really like it, and yeah, plug your stuff.
Well, guys, Fab Popal on YouTube. That's FAB, last name Popal. Fab Popal. I'd thank you guys for watching. Bronson, thank you for having me here. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate the you taking the time for this and the conversation that we had.
Yeah, you too, man. Thanks for your time.